In this video, I will show you the full process of creating automated viral pieces of AI content. For example, content like this, which is getting millions of views.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Kane, firstborn farmer, future legend.
And I'm Abel, shepherd, secondborn, fan favorite.
And as you can see, the characters can speak, and we're able to customize storylines. We're able to put it in different environments, such as videos shown here, and how exactly to leverage this for your company. As we all know, AI videos are going extremely viral at the moment. There's a company which used their AI video as a Super Bowl ad and gained massive popularity and traction. So this is a golden opportunity. And on top of that, I will show you the cheapest and most efficient ways, which I don't see anyone talking about, of how to generate these AI videos. So let's get straight into a little bit about what we've already done. So we're going through the AI service agency approach here, which basically is talking about how every agency will become its own AI native company. Exactly how every company will have their own SaaS. And that may seem a little bit extreme, but what I predict is that every company will have a front end, which is their unique spices, and you'll have to basically code that out. But if you've never written a line of code before, don't worry, because AI can write all of this for you. Then we'll have backend tools such as these video generation tools, music generation tools, etc., which couple with the front end to create these AI SaaSes for each different agency. And the thing that differentiates each agency will be their unique flair, their unique spice. Now, moving on to a little bit how this is prevalent for this example, we'll be able to create by the end of this video AI content exactly like this video.
What's your take on modern dating apps?
Back in my day, we had common sense. Now they need an app for everything.
Thoughts on this new TikTok dance trend?
So as you can see, the videos are created around 8 seconds long, but this automation stitches everything together. And what we spoke about in the last video was creating the front end, and now we're here to create the back end. Now this is the meat of the automation. So what we did last time, we brainstormed exactly what the automation dashboard front end should look like. And we created this in less than 2 hours, leveraging AI open source tools without not writing a single line of code, which is absolutely crazy. We managed to get something like this, which we can track all the analytics, we can see all the shorts. So for example, the whole concept was every morning you'd log in, you'd see videos, so you'd see the 8-second clips, you'd approve it if you liked it. Say for example, that wasn't up to your standard, you'd approve some more, you didn't like this one, for example. Then it would tell you all the ones you've approved. They'll stick them all together and then post it across all the different social media platforms. So all you have to do is log on in the morning, see which videos are up to your brand quality, and then the rest is taken care of. So that's the whole dashboard. We're also leveraging stuff like seeing what latest trends are, so we can ride different waves. For example, what big trends are happening, and we can create AI characters who are customized to your brand, customized to like a product you're selling, and then leverage on those trends to stitch everything together and create these viral pieces of content. So let's get straight into how we do this. So we'll be using a no-code automation tool called N8N. And if you've never heard of this before, it's an absolute lifesaver if you want to automate small tasks. It's not that hard to learn. It's really simple, and it's got a 2-week free trial. So I would recommend signing up to this, having a little play around. And then we need to create an automation like this. Now, I'm providing you this complete free template. It's just in my newsletter, so you have to click it in the link description and you'll get the free template for this. So all you have to do is once you've opened N8N, you press create new workflow, then you press the 3 dots. Once you've downloaded the template from the description for free, you head over and you import this file here. First of all, you can train it to make it understand a bit about your company, trending topics, etc. at the moment. And then it creates the clips, edits the clips, sticks the clips together, and then it'll post it to the social medias. So this is the full end-to-end automation process, and this is the full dashboard. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about how we actually combine these two together. The premise of this video is so you can get up and running with this automation workflow for as cheap as possible and as quickly as possible. So going straight into the workflow we've just imported, there's a few things we need to change. So if you've never logged into this software before, you need to basically go into a software called OpenRouter and find an API key. API keys are just what connects different softwares together. So openrouter.ai, sign up to the .q, sign up here. Once you're in, go here under keys, press API keys, press create new API key, name it whatever you want, and then tell it how much you want to you give it a maximum limit to use. So say for example $5, you deposit a little bit of money into this account, and then it will not hit that limit. It'll stop running. So then you would go into this API key, you'd press down here, add new credentials, and you just paste in the API key, press save, and that's all you need to do. And the beauty about OpenRouter is you can access all the latest, greatest AI models, even GPT-5. So you can leverage all of these tools in just one place. Next, all of this has been built out, so you don't need to go into any of these prompts. I'll show you how to change it to your company's specifications if you want to. Then what I've got is a Grok AI model. So with same OpenRouter, so once you've connected the first one, everything's already set up for Grok 4. And the reason we're using Grok 4 is because it's unfiltered. So we can create sort of edgy content which maybe Claude would not be able to create. And that just allows you to differentiate yourself with these AI generated videos. Then everything else is already set up. So you don't need to change anything in this original section. Then next, you'll need to create the thing that connects to this video generation software. And what we're using is Veo 3. So Google Veo 3 allows you to create up to 8-second videos, also with audio. But the problem is, if you're using the quality model will set you about $2 per 8-second video, which is ridiculously expensive. But this method I'm about to show you allows you to get an 8-second video for around 40 cents, which is a massive reduction. And which is a massive reduction. So all you have to do is head over to kai.ai, sign up for an account, and once you're signed in, it'll log you into the dashboard. So you head over to Veo 3 API, and this shows some of the pricing. So 40 cents for a Veo 3 fast model, which is up to more or less the exact same quality as a Veo 3 quality. To be honest, I have not noticed any differences. Maybe if it doesn't work in fast and it's not up to your standard, then that's only when you need to switch to quality, but I still haven't needed to do that. Head on over to get your API key now. Then all you have to do is go to API keys and press create API key, and then call it whatever you want, press create key. So all you have to do is create a key, name it whatever you would like, copy that number you get, and then head on over to your n8n workflow. Now double click on this box here. Everything's already set up. Don't worry if it's grayed out. Now under header, press create new credential, press name, authorization, and then delete this, press fixed expression, and type bearer, so BEARER, and then do a space, and then paste in your API key. That's all you have to do, so super simple. Now I've already got an API key, but that's everything you need to do for this setting up Veo 3. You've connected now Kai AI to create Veo 3 videos for you, and also the 9:16 aspect ratio will be also shown here. Now that video will generate the first video, then it'll wait for around 10 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on how long it needs to actually generate these videos for. Normally it takes only a few minutes, but 10 minutes just to be safe. And then what this module does, all you have to do is click into it, make sure you're connected to the same model you did in the previous version, and this basically just downloads it. Then what we do is we need to edit these videos together. And normally this would be a very extensive process. You'd need to download some software, but I found a very quick and effective way to do this. So head over to thal.ai and create an account. This is just an account which allows you to connect different APIs, open source APIs. So instead of downloading on your computer, you can download it on this model, and it's so much easier, so much quicker. So you have to head over to something called FFmpeg compose, video to video. So that's all you need. Now, this is the one model we're going to be using, so we have to head over to account, and then we go to API keys, create a new API key, so name it whatever you want, it'll give you an API key, and then you just have to head over, copy that over, head over to n8n, and then go into the header auth, so change it from Kai if it's that, to creating your credentials. And now the name will have to be a little bit different, so you're going to type authorization again here. But then under this, remove if there's anything there. Now type key, all lowercase, do a space, and then paste in your API key there. Now that's all you have to do, press save, and then everything will be connected. If not, try a capital K if that didn't work. Now, this has been set, so the 3 videos you've created in the previous stage are now all stitched together. And in the next video, I'll show you how to actually link it to the dashboard software we're creating, so you can allow that manual control. But this is just the simplest version to get it all running. Now, once that has all been done, you wait around 5 minutes, just worst case scenario, we wait for everything to be done, and then we finally download the video from FFmpeg. And that's the full process. So let's run it. And in the meantime, think about trending topics. It's generating the different scenes. It's prompt engineering it. So it's creating a prompt, which will be then fed into VO3. While that's happening, we have this Google Sheets slide, which is what we would actually link if we were to create the dashboard software. So I'll show you how to connect it through webhooks in the next video, but this is just the simplest overview we can have. Now, all you need to do is go into Google Sheets. I've also put this in the newsletter description. So we've got an ID, trending topic, prompt 1. So prompt 1 actually would look like, say for example, the use case we want of elderly people giving interviews. Someone's hat gets blown off by the wind. Now this is some backgrounds to add some levels of depth. So I found this would just allow the scenes to be a little bit more interactive. Now we found a small dog, still this is for the next video. This is for the next video, person drops groceries. And then the final one will be, this is actually what the take is on about. So elderly person talks about dating apps. And then this could be a title if you were to post on Instagram, for example. Now it's saying the status, and then finally you'll get the link. So as we can see in the progress in N8N, it's currently thinking behind the scenes. And we're going to have to give it about 5 to 10 minutes for everything to be processed. And then it should give a new link here in the Google Sheets. If you've connected everything correctly, it should just show all green lights like here, here, here. If not, then all you have to do is go to the Ask Assistant, copy what your error message is, paste it in there, and then ask how do I resolve it, and then it'll give you all the necessary information to resolve it because there's access to all the code you've generated here. So this is super simple. It shouldn't be extremely complicated. All you need to do is copy and paste API keys to get it working for you. Now, how do we actually customize this towards your company? So what we've done here is I've created a little prompt just saying, find the most interesting viral topics for a funny street interview, for a man on the street style interview. We go into a little bit about, we would like political events, general conflicts, Gen Z trends, etc., economic news. So we're using Perplexity, which is an AI model which can search the web. And we have this full process about the kinds of information we're looking for. So customize this to your own extent, and exactly how to customize this is press Control A, Control C, then head on over to Claude, paste this into Claude, and at the very top, press Shift, Enter, Enter, and now you can just speak to it. So if you've got a voice speaking set up, I use, what do I use? Whisperflow. So I have to do a command here and say, I've attached a master prompt, which I'm using as a research agent to find suitable viral content at the moment for an AI short form content piece. Now I'd like you to customize this for my company, which is a clothing brand specializing in dogs, active lifestyle. So it's a company which creates active toys for dogs, for example. And I would like you to find any relative trending topics in the world of dogs and something interesting around animal health, for example. And I'd like you to keep the exact same formatting structure, but just customize it towards my use case and create in a format so I can just copy and paste it out. So speak about whatever you want, whatever your company's about. If it's a marketing agency, if it's a AI agency, if it's whatever you want, just give it a little prompt, paste it into Claude, and let it customize your prompt. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is, once that is found the viral trending topics, then it finds around 3 scenes. So this is to generate 3 scenes. So the first scene, as we've seen, is somebody's hat gets blown away in the background. This just gives it a little bit more depth. So it can be whatever you want in for your video. Say, for example, you're producing, let's say, a Star Wars storyboard. For example, the first scene could be the characters in a ship, for example. Another one can be them landing on a planet, and the final one can be them exploring the planet. Then you could just have to prompt engineer it. So copy this out, Control A, Control C, head on over to Claude, and then Control V. So paste it in there and say, this is a master prompt attached about generating 3 different scenes. Now I would like you to customize it towards my use case, keep the same formatting. My use case is for Star Wars, and I want all 3 scenes to be contingent. So one will play after the other one. So they should be all in a chronological order. And also, as you can see in like the double curly brackets towards the end, there's a bit of trending information which will be fed to it in the very beginning. So for this trending information, use that trending information to then customize everything. So create the scenes, for example. And I would like you to create the exact same formatting, but just repurpose it for my Star Wars use case. And then you just paste that in, and the output you get, you just have to copy and paste it and put it in here. Now, the only thing you may need to change is, because we've already put this JSON output, which is basically the trending topics we found from the previous thing. So this actually reads what the previous agent or the previous AI thing output. We would just have to copy this, delete it, and then repaste it in again. And basically, as you can see, this was the previous output, so saying a recent surge of AI chatbots. So that was the public topic we wanted to speak about, the trending topic. Now, basically, it gives you all the different things. So, for example, it'll randomly create different environments such as coffee shop, market square, etc. So it gives you 3 outputs. So what I have to accentuate is, in your prompt, just say keep the exact same formatting. So then it abides by the same formatting rules. Now, finally, for the last prompt agent, this basically gathers all the information about the trending topics you found before, but then also the different scenes which you created in the previous prompt, and stitches everything together to create a full master prompt, which will then be fed into the AI video generation system to actually generate the full video. Now, all you need to do the exact same thing, copy it over. Let's just have a little look. So see, as you can see, this is element number 1, element 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are all the different elements we established in the previous one. So actually what you can do in Claude is, after you've submitted this and you've got the answer back, you just need to paste the exact same thing in this same conversation. And then just say, double click, and then say, keeping the exact same formatting, could you please customize this to my use case of Star Wars? So as you would have known from the previous above conversation, I wanted it to put outputs specifically towards chronological story of a Star Wars scene, for example, and all the different variables should have been customized towards that. So then create now this master prompt, which compiles everything into like a longer master prompt for an AI video generation model, and the more detail the better. So I want you to exactly follow the same structure and formatting, but make it for my use case. And then you press enter, and then it'll create that, then copy and paste that output back into here. And then all you'll need to change is, because it'll have element A, B, C, D, E, you just have to copy, drag that element A over to here, and you're done. So it's super, super simple to customize it. Now, if it's not to your liking, say for example, it's not what you envisaged, so all you have to do is then copy the prompt that you've just created back into Claude and say, I want it a bit more like this. So say for example, it wasn't giving you funny enough humor, it wasn't being witty enough, or it didn't give you the kind of language or the Gen Z language you'd like to speak in, for example. Then you can just say, I want you to use these certain words, I want you to make it a little bit more witty, funny, etc. And that's exactly what it'll be able to do. So go back and forth. And I would say the biggest tool is just prompting it, so talking into Claude exactly what you want. These AI models are so good nowadays, they'll understand the subtle nuances that you want, you just need to explain it in as much detail, and that's why I think speaking into it is so valuable. So do this over and over again until you get a final output, and these 3 things are the only things you actually need to change. So we're still waiting. So as we said, we set a 10-minute timer. So I'll cut to once everything has been generated. Oh, and by the way, to get everything connected to your Google Sheets account, all you have to do is head over here, press New Credentials, and it's really simple. You just have to sign in with Google, sign in with the Google Sheet account that you want to use, so with your email address, and then everything should be connected. Then all you have to do is head on over to this section and locate whatever you save it as. So I saved it as Man on the Street style interview. After you've done that, all of this should be mapped over, but if not, take a screenshot and then map these according ones, or you can just drag and drop, whatever's easiest. So we're just waiting for the final few minutes to create this video. In the meantime, if any of this was useful, please leave a comment in the description. Check out the newsletter. That's basically where I go into a lot more depth. So if this felt a little bit rushed, if this felt a little bit like skimming over the surface, then check out the newsletter. That's where I go into a lot more depth about stuff like this, and that's where you can ask me questions, etc. Furthermore, I've done a lot of videos on this AI service agency model, which I strongly am betting on. So this model, I believe, is going to revolutionize how agencies actually interact with their customers, do business, and it solves the biggest pain point which I had, which were the low marginal cost, because you actually had to do everything yourself, and if you wanted to expand, you had to hire more people. With this approach, you don't have to do that, because it uses AI tools which are up to your standards, and you can fine tweak it to be up to your standards to do everything, and also you're leveraging that AI trend upwards, because we all know AI is only going to get better, and to think that it can't do what you're already doing is a bit foolish in one aspect. So you have to be leveraging these tools, or I don't believe agencies will be able to survive through this AI wave. So on that note, it looks like everything has been generated successfully. If we head on over to Google Sheets, we can see another one has just been added. And then it will give you a link. Press that link here. And then it should download something here.
What's your take on the recent surge of AI chatbot controversies?
That's about as useful as a chocolate teapot in hell.
Thoughts on this new AI chatbot technology?
Okay, so very good. Got a little error, so I don't understand why he's wearing 2 glasses. Now, this is exactly why a software like this would be super useful, because then we would just say, nope, that's not up to my standard, but then it would continue with all the other 8 videos. And the reason I gave 8 was it gave you a lot of room to play with and have a good few clips. Also, another thing I want to try add is a little button to regenerate it. That's something I'll be playing around in the next few videos. And if you're curious about how I built this, check out the last video. So in this video, what we've covered so far is we've built out the front end in the previous video, and this is the NA10 workflow, talking about how to automate leveraging VO3 to create content for your company. So if this was of any use, check out the newsletter in the description, and I'll catch you in the next video where we run through wrapping all of this together into the dashboard. So thank you.